Welcome back to the Political Lens Podcast. We're going to hop right into it as always. As the decades moved on, I began to watch Taiwan transform into a vibrant democracy, even as the shadow of China's ambitions grew even larger. The island lifted martial law in 1987, paving the way for democratic elections, political parties, and an engaged civil society. The transition strengthened Taiwan internally, giving its people a voice and a sense of ownership over their own future. Yet, as Taiwan grew more independent politically, China became increasingly assertive, viewing the island as an inseparable part of its territory. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, tensions flared repeatedly across the Taiwan Strait. Missiles tests, military exercises, and aggressive rhetoric from Beijing underscored China's commitment to reunification by force if necessary. I also watched the United States maintain its support for Taiwan through arms sales, military training, and public statements, balancing deterrence with caution to avoid sparking outright conflict. Taiwan became a key chess piece in a large game of regional power where every maneuver had global consequences. Economically, the island thrived, becoming a global leader in technology and semiconductors, which further raised its strategic importance. China and Taiwan became deeply interconnected through trade, investments, and tourism, creating a complicated web of corporations and competition. I noticed how this independence created both leverage and vulnerability of Taiwan's economy, which was strong, but it relied on global markets and supply chains that could be disrupted in a crisis. This made the stakes of any conflict between China and Taiwan far higher than just military calculations. In recent years, the situation has intensified as China modernizes its military and expands its reach in the Indo-Pacific. Frequent incursions into Taiwan's air defense identification zone, amphibious exercises, and advanced missile deployments send a clear signal of capability and intent. I see the United States continuing to navigate strategic ambiguity, providing military support and political reassurance to Taiwan without fully committing to direct confrontation. At the same time, the regional allies such as Japan, South Korea, and Australia monitor developments closely, knowing that any escalation could quickly draw them into a conflict. The political climate in Taiwan is also evolved. It reflects the island's independent identity. Elections have highlighted debates over identity, its sovereignty, and the balance between engagement with China and maintaining autonomy. I also find it remarkable how Taiwanese society has embraced democracy, the civil liberties, and international engagement while facing constant pressures from a powerful neighbor. This has created a resilient, determined population which is prepared to defend its way of life even under the threat of coercion or military aggression. As China's global influence grows, Taiwan's strategic position becomes even more critical. I watch how its semiconductor industry, democratic governance, and alliances with the United States make it both a target for coercion and a valuable partner. The world increasingly recognizes that Taiwan's fate cannot be separated from broader security, its economic and technological concerns. This interplay between Taiwan's internal strengths and external pressures is what defines the modern era of cross-strait relations. Looking forward, I realize that the balance is delicate and fraught with risk. Any miscalculation militarily or diplomatically could escalate rapidly, drawing its not just China or Taiwan, but the United States and its allies. Taiwan continued survival Taiwan continued survival rallies on careful diplomacy, credible deterrence, and the island's own resilience. Understanding these modern tensions is essential to appreciating why Taiwan's story is not just historical, but urgently relevant today. As I look ahead, I can't help but think about what might happen if China decides to take military action against Taiwan. Such a scenario would be an unprecedented in scale and risk as well, involving a highly capable Chinese military, Taiwan's defenses, and the United States' strategic commitments. The island's locations, population density, and technological importance make any conflict potentially catastrophic. I realize that understanding the stakes is essential for anyone who wants to grasp global security today. If China were to attempt to blockade or full invasion, Taiwan's survival would depend on both its own military and the support it receives from its allies. The United States, under the Taiwan Relations Act, could provide weapons, intelligence, and possibly direct military intervention, but the exact scope of the U.S. involvement is intentionally ambiguous, creating both a deterrence and uncertainty. Any miscalculation by either side could escalate a localized conflict into a regional or even global confrontation. I also think about the ripple effects of a potential conflict. Neighboring countries like Japan or South Korea and members of ASEAN would be directly impacted both militarily and economically. Global trade would be disrupted, especially in semiconductor shipping lanes and energy supplies. I see how Taiwan's role in the global economy means that even limited hostilities could have far reaching consequences for businesses, markets, and international stability. The humanitarian and human costs of such a conflict would be devastating. Civilians in Taiwan would face immediate danger, displacement, and shortages of essential goods. Military engagements could escalate quickly, putting millions at risk, while international humanitarian systems would be challenged to respond. I realize that the human story behind the geopolitical tensions is often overlooked, but it is just as critical as military and economic calculations. The risk of a full-scale war between the nuclear-capable powers cannot be ignored. Any direct confrontation between the United States and China could escalate far beyond Taiwan, with the global security implications that are difficult to predict. Diplomatic efforts, deterrence, and regional alliances are crucial to preventing such an outcome. I see that the balance between showing strength and avoiding provocation is one of the most delicate challenges in modern international relations. Ultimately, Taiwan's future will depend on a combination of resilience, diplomacy, and strategic planning. Its people have survived centuries of foreign influence, colonization, and political upheaval, adapting and thriving in the face of challenges. The United States' continued support, paired with regional and global cooperation, will be essential in maintaining stability. As I reflect on all this, I understand that Taiwan's story is both a testament to human perseverance and a critical element of global security today. Thank you for watching the Unfiltered Political Lens Podcast. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video, and you make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss our next discussion on global politics and current events. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.